What a headshot! What a head!
How's it, guys? This is Dayvy, FPL, and welcome back to the Fantasy Premier League video here on my channel. In this video, I'll be taking you through my very own transfer plan for the upcoming Game Week 14. So Game Week 13 has just concluded. I know this video is going to be quite earlier on a Monday than usual, but that's because the deadline's actually for Game Week 14 on Tuesday. So as always, please put a reminder in your calendar, or what you guys can do is have notifications on for this channel, as I'll be going live with the deadline stream 1 hour before the deadline on Tuesday evening. But if you guys can't make that, don't worry, just make sure that you don't miss the deadline, as the game weeks are coming thick and fast from now to that January period. So as always in these transfer plans, going to take a look at how Game Week 13 went, lucky number 13, let's see if it was a green or red arrow, and then we'll be jumping into all the goodness for the upcoming Game Week 14, which is in about 24 hours. So if that's something you guys are interested in, sit back, relax, and let's get straight into it. So Game Week 13, even though the deadline was on Friday and the number was 13, it wasn't a horror movie, and we actually got a massive green arrow to the 37k mark. So that's right, 2 massive back-to-back game weeks around 90 points have led us into a really respectable rank at this stage of the season. So I don't exactly know where I've been around Game Week 14 in my other seasons, but this is a great start if memory serves me right. So that massive green arrow to 37k was thanks to 87 points, and no hits were taken this game week. So in the comments down below, hopefully your game week was as good as mine. Let me know where that overall rank is currently sitting. I know there's a bunch of you even within the top 1k. You can also say how many points you scored. Was it a massive game week? And don't worry if it wasn't a great game week, this is a safe space. Now just for some context about Game Week 14, 1 free transfer, 0.0 in the bank. So a like-for-like switch or downgrade will have to take place as we actually broke. But we're not broke in terms of green arrows, so let's go on to where those 87 points came from. And I'm just happy my starting 11 featured because my bench, no one played. Even though Fabianski played, he got -1 points, just conceding so many goals as well as a yellow card for that penalty. So West Ham definitely not looking like the best defense in Game Week 13, which is quite worrying as I'm probably going to start him in Game Week 14. The only thing I am worried about slightly though is could there be some rotation after this dismal performance? As you guys know, him and Areola have been rotating whenever one has bad form. So I guess if you are a West Ham fan, you can comment down below what's your thoughts on this. Not the end of the world though if he doesn't play, as he is my second goalkeeper. Then the Guardiola benching was quite surprising, I won't lie. I consider him to be in the best Man City squad. So if he's not going to play against Liverpool, when is he actually going to feature? With the quick turnarounds between the deadlines though, I'm expecting him to start Game Week 14, which I guess has a better fixture than Liverpool away. Then Greaves is still not in the squad, don't you know what's happening there? He has been training apparently, and I need him back for some bench coverage if Guardiola's not going to be reliable. Then the final player, Semenyo, Bournemouth scoring 4 goals isn't what you want to see when he is suspended, but they did score 3 penalties. So at least Semenyo has kind of gone past his suspension, and as far as I know will be back into the starting 11, and Bournemouth have great fixtures coming up. And even though Flecken scored 2 points, I guess it was better than Fabianski's -1. Once again though, Bournemouth are keeping a clean sheet. Now this fixture was a great one. Leicester, even though with the new manager, potentially could have a new manager bounce, they're still under the caretaker though. But what happens, Brentford concede quite early into the fixture, but then don't concede again, so it was a little bit unlucky. But as we've come to expect, clean sheets aren't the thing for Flecken, but unfortunately saves weren't either in Game Week 13. At least the other goalkeepers like a popular Raya also conceded, but would have loved some extra points to kind of make up that gap. Then kind of speaking about that Arsenal defense, Gabriel, this game went perfectly for us. Gabriel scoring a goal plus an assist, a massive 9-pointer. As mentioned, went perfectly as most people have kind of tripled up or doubled up on that defense, so them losing their clean sheet might have actually been to our advantage. Gabriel just showing that attacking threat though that we know he possesses. Really glad I held on to him. We did have the classic debate of those Arsenal assets, not training the entire week but still playing. Getting quite tired of it, but I think I've learned to just keep hold of them. Then Diego Dalot at least got a 6-pointer, him and Mazraoui kind of switched spots. Maz was sub before the 60-minute mark, whereas at least Dalot played the full game. Now started at wing-back, but no real attacking threat unfortunately from Diego Dalot, but playing against Everton is basically locked in clean sheet. Now big question marks about him and my team in terms of going forward, probably a transfer out if another defensive option becomes attractive. Then finally, Ait Nori, don't you know what to say? he's scoring so many goals, assists, but his average is so low just because of games like this. So yes, finished on a 0-pointer, not what you want to see. So no, he actually did play 60 minutes, just conceded so many goals. Wolves do have a nice little fixture run coming up though, so pretty confident we might get some clean sheets there. But can't really trust this defense, but Nori has that attacking threat. So Gabriel, kind of the main performer of our defense without a clean sheet, and then those Diego Dalot points were pure differential. Now midfield department, once again, was absolutely on fire. Mo Salah scoring a massive 13 points, and he was my captain. So the captaincy debate was quite hotly contested this week. At least all managers managed to get some captaincy points. It was quite close between them. So Mo Salah got an assist quite early into the fixture, then missed a massive big chance before finally getting a penalty against Man City. So in isolation, 13 points against Man City is simply ridiculous, but with the game state probably shows how Liverpool are playing well and Man City aren't the squad they used to be. As mentioned though, as a Liverpool fan, I just couldn't watch this fixture without captaining Mo Salah and was pretty happy that I went with it. I did say though that it wouldn't surprise me if Saka was the highest scorer in Game Week 13, as West Ham away is probably the best fixture. He did score a massive 18-pointer, which would have been great if you guys captained him, so congrats if you guys went there. Just happy I have him in my squad though, is a great FPL asset, and we still have some great fixtures to look forward to. The final option there, Cole Palmer, as you guys can see, all three premiums scoring massive points, probably the second highest captaincy to Mo Salah. So Cole Palmer did outscore Salah by 1 point. I think if you guys did go for the Chelsea man, we're probably pretty happy, and he did outperform Salah by 1 point if you guys did go there. Still, just owning all three was special enough, got me this green arrow, and I was quite happy to see all of them performing, so there wasn't too much of a swing. Also nice to see that Cole Palmer is on some better form, as Chelsea go on a great fixture run from Game Week 14 onwards. Unfortunately though, it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows in our midfield department. In Bumo blanked when Brentford scored 4 goals, which definitely isn't what you guys want to see. Just seems like it's becoming more of a consistency. Brentford scoring a lot of goals, in Bumo's not involved, might not be the talisman that we thought he was. So probably the player highest on the transfer out list at the moment, just unfortunately isn't worth his price tag with all these blanks. Just wish he did something. If I had a Bruno, the midfield department would have looked even better, but I can't complain with all my premiums getting so many points. Now up front, unfortunately this didn't continue. Cunha, it finally caught up to him. These low XG chances didn't result in points, and he unfortunately blanked. To make things worse, Strand Larsen I think wrapped up 2 goals, which would have been massive for you owners, so let's see if Cunha can claw back some of those points in Game Week 14. Overall though, Wolves still super attacking, concede loads, but also score a few, just Cunha didn't get any attacking returns. Jackson did though, scored early into this Aston Villa game, just proving such great value and a point scorer. Going him over Isaac got better even in Game Week 13. So as you guys would have seen, Isaac unfortunately getting injured. Obviously you guys can't control that, but as a Jackson owner, was pretty happy when I could have gone for either of them, and seems like the transfer ins are going to be there for Game Week 14. Unfortunate not to get any kind of bonus points, but also missed one big chance. At least he's getting chances though. Then the final player was going to be João Pedro, a player I brought in probably a week before the Game Week 13 deadline. He started this one but didn't get any points. So Brighton drawing to Southampton 1-1 was pretty unexpected, but overall Brighton looked pretty flat. Is still playing around 70 minutes, still being managed after this injury. Brighton have good fixtures and he is pretty cheap though. If you guys know my kind of transfer history, I took out Kulusevski as well as Dom Solanke, both those players. Kulu ended up being benched and Dom Solanke was out ill, but unfortunately my replacements didn't do much. But João Pedro's blank wrapped up a pretty sensational week, largely carried by midfield department. Just another unfortunate one if you guys did keep part of Erling Haaland, but as I would have said, probably a good week to jump off him, as I didn't see Man City doing much against the Liverpool squad. But comment down below how many points you guys scored, as well as how's that overall rank looking. Just remember, save space even if it was a red arrow. But now let's move on to Game Week 14, and I want to go over the current team selection with no transfers made, just to give you guys the context. Now just a reminder, Tuesday deadline, please don't forget it, at least make your buzz team now, as this might be a pretty strong week. Now 1 free transfer and 0.0 in the bank, so no upgrades can be made, and I'm probably not looking to take a hit for Game Week 14. So let's start off on the bench this week, and this is going to be a benching headache probably with our attacker, currently benching Mbeumo against Aston Villa. And we will speak about the replacement, but because I'm benching him, might not be too keen on taking him out this week, unless the player I bring in has a great fixture. So I'm also benching his colleague Flecken against Aston Villa. Just think from an attacking point of view, Aston Villa probably a strong attack, and this is an away game. Then also Greaves can't feature him if he's not even in the squad, and then Delort has Arsenal away, which is a terrible game. So because I'm benching Flecken, Fabianski is between the sticks with Leicester away. So let's see if he can do what Flecken couldn't and keep a clean sheet, although with that current West Ham form, probably not likely. Leicester also might have the new manager bounce after signing the new manager. I was hoping for some points and at least he outperforms Flecken. Then our back three, Guardiola comes back into the squad with Nottingham Forest at home. Overall a better fixture, hopefully Chris Wood blanks. Then Gabriel against United, a little bit of a tougher game there. United still a little bit undiscovered, but putting 4 past Everton probably going to raise their confidence. Then finally Aït-Nouri against Everton, just hoping that Wolves can finally keep that clean sheet. Everton have really been struggling going forward. Now what I will say with the defensive kind of transfer was to take Delort out or Guardiola out, the most likely replacement probably would be someone like a Timber. Now with Arsenal hosting United might not be the best kind of defensive fixture, so might as well just keep hold of Guardiola and hope that he starts. Then our midfield department, this is where the kind of rotation debate comes in. Would you start Semenyo or Mbeumo? Carry on the Bournemouth man. Just have more faith in that Bournemouth attack, they've been looking pretty solid going forward, and as mentioned I'm expecting Semenyo to come back into the squad after his suspension. I think it was David Brooks who played on that right hand side, didn't have the best of games, so pretty sure Semenyo will be preferred. Then the captaincy debate comes down to Salah, Saka and Palmer for me, as I don't own Erling Haaland. Now if you guys have kept hold of Erling Haaland, he might be the standard captaincy shout. I still think Cole Palmer edges him though. With United, a bit of a tougher game as mentioned, undiscovered with this new manager, so for me it's between Salah and Palmer. Both away games unfortunately, but Southampton away definitely better than Newcastle away, as Newcastle always raise the game against the better teams. So no problem captaining a player against a newly promoted squad, surely Palmer gets some points. Then our forward line is going to be all away fixtures. We've had the home fixtures, now it's time for the away ones, but still some okay ones here and there. So Cunha as Everton, a team that's just conceded 4 to United, let's hope for some points, and then Jackson escaped a yellow card so is fit to play Southampton. Now only concern with Jackson, as mentioned, if you guys have seen Chelsea's rotation in these European competitions, they rotate the entire team, and even though this is a midweek fixture, I'm just hoping that it's the Premier League ones. So let's see if Jackson does play. I'm pretty sure he will though, was subbed around the 70-minute mark, which should be an indication of a rest. If he does play, great fixture, a lot of people are bringing him in, thanks for the price rises. Now the last player, João Pedro, is actually one that I might bench for Mbeumo. I just feel like Fulham away is a tough fixture. Probably would trust the Brighton attack more than the Brentford one though, and that's why I'm currently starting João Pedro. Minutes still being managed, but at least he's getting about 70, that should be sufficient. But you guys let me know, who would you bench between Semenyo, João Pedro and Mbeumo? Might be a nice debate to have, to be honest, just annoying if you get it wrong though, but overall the team is looking pretty decent. Now in terms of transfers, as mentioned, probably 2 departments. The first one is the defense, and the second one's Mbeumo, but currently benching Mbeumo, so I might just keep hold of him. A lot of information can be gauged from one game week, and that's why I might play patient, but let's go over some talked about moves. So the transfer plan this week will have to be a like-for-like switch or a downgrade, as I have no money in the bank. And as mentioned, 2 departments for transfers out, the first one the defense, but most likely going for an Arsenal defender, and they have United this week. Now the second option could be Mbeumo out, as his form is terrible and the Brentford fixtures are tough. As you guys can see, no green fixtures there. So the 2 replacements I could potentially go for, the first one is a cheaper option, Rodgers, at 5.3. So Aston Villa have some good fixtures coming up. My only concern is that he hasn't been great, and has been subbed around the 60-minute mark in most fixtures. He is cheap though, and therefore allows me to do some upgrades, maybe a Trent next week as my defensive replacement. That's something that's on my mind at the moment. The second option for the exact same funds is going to be Bowen though, as he has some great fixtures in the short term. So if I did go for Bowen, I probably would bench a João Pedro or a Semenyo, and is that actually worth it? Maybe it's better to just play patient, hold Mbeumo, can absorb another price drop, and then address this in game week 15. These 2 replacements though are pretty kind of adequate, both have very good fixtures, just don't know if I'd play them over a Semenyo or a João Pedro. You guys let me know what you guys think about these moves. think the most realistic option is probably to just roll though. Comment down below your transfer plans though. You guys can always ask questions over my Discord server, link in the description, just slightly more active over there. This is basically a wrap for the video guys, hope you guys did enjoy it. Please don't forget to like if you didn't subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. Content still to come, the team selection coming up tomorrow. Otherwise the deadline stream coming up 1 hour before the deadline. Make sure that you guys have notifications on for that when I do go live, or follow me over on Twitter. But for the time being, I'm signing off. It's been Dayvy FPL and I'm out. Cheers, bye.